Hey everybody, it is the Honey Badger here, and today it's kind of a new day. The garage has an empty slot in it. I've sold 2 vehicles and acquired a new one, and we need to go over a little bit of everything that involves what's gone on with that. Well, the pickup's obviously here. I plan on keeping the pickup. Still have work to do on it. Still going to be doing videos on it as well because it's not done yet, although it's looking fantastic compared to where it was. If you haven't seen where it started, check that out. It's kind of night and day to see it like this versus a little over a year ago what it looked like. But this is here, but 2 cars have left. What has left the buildings are the C30R design, which is a fantastic vehicle, most reliable vehicle I ever owned. Workhorse of a daily driver, fantastic vehicle. If you're ever in the market for a C30, if you find a good one, buy it. They're fantastic cars. I won't ever probably be able to speak high enough of how great those actually are. And then the other vehicle I sold was my 2003 Ford Focus SVT. Competition orange, Euro package with Recaro seats, all that fun stuff. And then it was actually my autocross car. It was fully on coilovers, upgraded brakes and other suspension bits, exhaust, intake, things like that, because like I said, it was my autocross car and it was a great car. Loved it. Focuses are actually kind of where I started my whole tuning and tinkering on cars. It started with a different Focus before that one, but yeah, that car you never saw really much on the channel because by the time I started doing automotive content, I was already finished with that vehicle. There's really not a whole lot to really show on it, so I never really made videos for it. But those 2 vehicles have left because I have replaced both vehicles with 1 car, basically. And you're like, well, I mean, they're similar, obviously, but they're different. One's obviously like a daily driver, and one's on coilovers instead of to do more like track stuff. Right now in the comments, I would be interested to see what you think is what the replacement car is for that. So pause the video, do what you need to do, drop a comment, you're like, this is what replaces a C30 as a daily driver and a Ford Focus that is an autocross or track car. I'm interested to see what you actually think that car is, because I might actually agree with you that there's plenty of cars out there that probably can do both, but I'm interested to see what you think that replacement is. So leave a comment, and I guess now we'll just move on to what the new vehicle is and talk about that, right? Let's go. Here it is. It's a Volvo. Surprising, right? It's a V60, and the keen viewer will notice that it is very blue. And that's because it's a Polestar. And if you know what a Polestar Volvo is, then you're ahead of a lot of people because they don't make that many of them. And in fact, I want to say they probably make, I can check numbers. I know the numbers of Polestars they make. Between the S60 and V60, globally, yearly, they make 1,500 of these between the 2 models. And I'm gonna guess, I'll check actually, I'll put maybe notes in the bottom. These are probably more rare than Lamborghinis and Ferraris, which I know is kind of like a weird comparison because clearly it's not either of those things. But in terms of production numbers of this package, they don't make that many of these, which is one reason why I really like these. They're really neat for a few reasons, which we will go over. But it's a V60 Polestar, it's a 2017. They do all types of crazy things to these, and it's just a unique car that I'm really excited to have as my daily driver. And also it replaced, you know, also a track car. You're like, well, how does it replace a track car? Some of the big things they do this, besides obviously upping the power, it still just has the 2-liter engine, which doesn't seem like a whole lot, but it is both supercharged and turbocharged, makes 362 horsepower, 0 to 60, 4.5 second range, all-wheel drive. But the big things they do this to make it more of a performance car is this thing has Öhlins shocks and struts that are adjustable from the factory, as well as big Brembo brakes. So it is really set up to drive and handle, honestly, very, very well. I've driven a lot of different autocross cars and track cars and sports cars, and this handles unbelievably well for a stock vehicle. So a bunch of other cool stuff they did to it. Alcantara seats that have way more support for obviously a little bit more of a sporty drive. And a bunch of just other little things that makes the V60 Polestar a little bit more unique than a regular Polestar. Also, I'm a freak and love bright colored cars, so the blue is definitely right up my alley, along with the Polestar badge even on the wheels, which is cool, on the 20-inch, I don't know what they call this wheel, but it's a 20-inch wheel. And you have to have a 20-inch wheel almost all the time because the brakes are in fact so just massive that you need to have an enormous wheel to get them over. I think the smallest wheel you can run is a 19. So I'll probably get 19s for the winter because the summer tires for the summer will be great, but we'll get some winter tires for the winter. Probably throw those on a 19-inch wheel because, again, that's as small as we can go. But I'll plan on doing some videos on this vehicle. There's not a whole lot to do because it comes so ridiculous from the factory. You don't really need to do an exhaust because that's tuned. In fact, when you pop this into sport mode, it actually opens the valves on the exhaust. It gets a little bit throatier and meaner sounding when you are driving sportily. And then there's a few things we might do performance-wise down the road, but for now, we'll probably just do some cosmetic stuff, some small repair stuff, cleaning stuff, updating a few things. So we'll do some videos on it for sure. We'll test out some probably cleaning stuff on this car too, because obviously I'm gonna wanna keep it nice. But overall, very excited with the purchase. Gonna continue to work on the Nissan, the pickup as always. We're gonna see this too. Maybe we'll do a little bit of stuff to my wife's car as well, which has been on the channel once or twice, but this is what we have, and very excited about it. I'm curious for you guys. Let me know what you think about it down below in the comments and see how close your guess was to the correct answer, or at least to this answer. Because again, I think there's multiple answers for the question that was pitched. So other than that, we'll do some more detailed stuff on this vehicle in the future. Let me know what you would like to see or what you would do to it or all types of stuff. Let me know again in the comments. Drop a like on the video. Make sure you're subscribed with the bell notifications on as well so you don't miss anything in the future. I'll see you guys in the next one.